Welcome back to another Good Labs video. Today's video is a video that one of you guys commented, and it said the common mistakes that baseball players make. And I thought that was an absolute great video because we have Bubby here and he played baseball.
How you doing?
Yes,
I did play baseball. I played baseball my whole life up until my sophomore year of high school. For some reason I made the decision I wanted to play lacrosse. So I played lacrosse my last 2 years, but lacrosse and baseball, it's similar. Same kinetic chain, over the top.
Right.
Different planes than the golf swing. My baseball players out there, you are welcome for this video because I know your struggle. Listen, Grant, he fixed my swing, what was that, about two and a half months ago?
Yeah.
I had that big over the top action from lacrosse, mostly baseball, because you're on a different plane. You're up here,
right,
and that shoulder kind of leads in. And the biggest thing is too that Grant fixed for me is when you're playing baseball, I was mostly a pitcher, but obviously when you grow up you bat, even if you're a pitcher.
Right.
In baseball, the weight change from the back foot to the front foot, whether it's pitching or batting, is night and day.
Right.
You know when that weight transfer happens because you take a step or you make a stride.
Right.
Golf, you don't have that motion of stepping with that front foot towards the pin, so it's tough. I always got caught back on my back foot, and spun out and
exactly.
everything. That's what's tough.
That's the main thing. When you're batting and stuff, you're mostly just spinning open, and you're falling back. A lot of people when they're batting, they fall back and they obviously let go and their weight's moving backwards a little bit. And all they do is spin. So that's what Bubby was struggling with, and I know a lot of you guys that play baseball out there are struggling with that too, but this can go for everyone out there trying to fix their slice. We're gonna talk about what we changed with Bubby because he did have a baseball move and he did only spin out and didn't have any lateral movement, which we'll talk about.
That's the thing too, my baseball players out there, it's the same kinetic chain as a golf swing, same muscles and everything. You guys are probably the most powerful hitters in the sport of golf, baseball players and hockey players.
Right.
I would say the thing is, once you get these tips dialed down, I literally gained 35, 40 yards off the tee, and I feel like a lot of baseball players do care about that.
Right.
It's you want to hit that ball far. Once you start actually compressing that ball and hitting it correctly and not spinning out and swiping at it, you're gonna gain 35 yards with these tips Grant's about to show us today. So I remember when I first, this is like 2.5 months ago, I'd get here, I was way inside first off.
Right.
And I did my little hip twitches and I had a big sway motion.
Right.
And then I'd spin out and just do that.
Exactly.
Kind of like finishing a baseball swing.
Right.
So the one thing Grant and Garrett showed me this that I loved a lot, this is just like a first little tip to really keep that weight and make the weight transfer easier. In my setup, I feel all the weight on my right foot on the inside of my foot.
Right.
On the ball of my feet to keep me, and I know if my weight goes to the outside of my foot, I'm swaying.
Right, exactly.
So that's what I try and feel throughout the swing, and so I just try and feel that. Plant it on the inside of my right foot, feel it like 60-40 to my left, and then I just feel the weight stay there as I make my swing.
And what he's saying there basically, guys, is you don't want this weight to get outside this knee here in the backswing. So he's keeping that weight right here in the backswing, inside here. And then obviously, Bubby and I, we worked on his downswing to push into this left side more and not just open like this. So push, that drops the club to the inside when you move a little bit lateral.
Baseball players, one thing I really had to work on was the grip. Baseball, your grip is right here. Right. You feel it inside your hands, right on the, what is that called? The bottom of the knuckle?
Yeah.
You feel it right here, you're like this. So I didn't until like my 3rd year of golfing switch to an actual overlap or interlock grip. So that's a big thing baseball players do too, is they have that baseball grip, which lets your wrist get so inconsistent.
If you guys do have that baseball grip, I would try and make the transfer over to either an interlock here or an overlap grip just to help you with more control of the club face.
So I'm gonna hit another one here. I'm gonna think about, obviously, the right foot thing I told y'all. The way I envisioned it, Grant taught me what I was doing is I was getting here and my hip was kind of coming out and I was spinning out and doing all this. So what I envisioned is I get to the top of my swing and my very first move before starting the downswing is this hip kind of driving towards the target. Right. Because for me in my head, that is the weight transfer of stepping, or it's the weight transfer of pitching like that. Exactly. Is that hip kind of driving down and towards the target.
If you think about it, if you're pitching, you don't just spin open, your body moves towards the target when you're pitching and throwing. You're not just back here doing this. Like a lot of people do in their golf swing, they just open up and fall backwards. You're moving towards the target. But once you hit that lateral bump, like once Bubby on the downswing, he moves lateral, he can open as hard as he wants.
You get here, and then your first motion is down and towards.
That's a big high draw right there. It's an awesome move. I don't want you guys to just feel this move. You move into the target and then you open. So it's post, then open. It's not just slide or just rotate, it's the combination of both of them.
Because I think a lot of people might take what we just talked about with that move, especially if they're new to golf, and they might start swaying. You don't want to sway or slide, like Grant was saying.
Yeah, exactly. Bubby's gonna grab his driver and hit a couple drivers because that's the one that everybody loves to hit, is the driver, and they want to swing super hard. And what happens is a lot of the time they spin open once again and they hit that big slice with the driver. So even though you're hitting up with the driver, you still have to incorporate that lateral bump slightly and then rotate. It's not just spinning out and falling back like this. So Bubby's gotten actually really good at hitting a draw with his driver, and he used to hit a slice. We'll go over what he's thinking over the ball. All right, here we go. Let's riff a couple, Bubby. That's absolutely killed. And Bubby, he was struggling before we had the lesson a while back. He was spinning it too, because he was hitting down on his driver and spinning out and getting real steep. Now he's getting from the inside and hitting a high draw just about every single time, which is awesome. Bubby used to do long drive too, if you guys didn't know that. So he does have some speed. He probably can hit it the farthest in the group when he does hit it solid. No, he does. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
It's a good thing we're teammates though, you know?
No, I played with Bubby one time and we just fixed his slice. He actually hit it the furthest I've seen anybody hit it. I'm not kidding. Tig got a little, he got a little offended there, but. Yeah. Here you go, a couple more, Bubby. What are you thinking of right now?
I'm thinking of, like, that big thing is I tuck this under and I try and make sure I keep that point.
Right.
Because that keeps me connected. But the other thing is, too, this is the exact same. I think of keeping my weight on the inside of this right foot. I don't have to think about that hip motion towards the target anymore. It's become second nature at this point.
That's the idea, guys. You don't want to have to even think about that. You want to practice on the range, and then you won't have to think about it eventually.
One thing I do think about, though, this isn't even saying this because this is a baseball video, this is what a lot of kids are just taught, is I do think as I start that transition down, I imagine swinging to right field.
Right. Exactly.
I imagine swinging to right field, like a baseball player.
Yeah.
Coaches, I'm sure your coaches told you, you want to take it to right field, feel that ball deep, let it get in the zone, drive it to right field. That's kind of what I think about in my golf swing.
Oh, Bubby.
I'm gonna end on that one. I can't hit it no better than those two. I can't hit it. Let's go, Chase. Oh my goodness.
Those are absolutely bomb. Guys, that's been a big change. It's awesome to see how much Bubby's improved from the first couple lessons we had, but this is awesome.
All right, y'all, I'm gonna go over real quick to end the video and kind of summarize it. My 3 main checkpoints that I got from Grant and learning this and going through the swing change process. Number 1 is obviously in the setup. You wanna make sure you have that weight on the inside of your right foot. Don't let it leave there, because if that weight gets to the outside, you're swaying. It puts you in a very inconsistent position to find your slots and sequence and time properly.
Right.
Number 2 is a big thing that helped me. It's kind of like to understand in my mind that weight transfer and have like actually a significant motion in my swing, kind of like stepping into a baseball swing or stepping into a pitch. It's kind of, I get here and I feel that hip drive down and towards the target, then I can just rotate as hard as I want. Then the third final checkpoint I would say for me really is the takeaway. I try and keep going back, kind of skipping back from the transition to right before it, is my takeaway was really inside before I started working with Grant. Meaning you can almost, it's impossible to get into the slot when you're inside. Right. That's why when you see me before I take my swings, I kind of rehearse this and I kind of try and feel it straight or just outside my hands at this position. And then I'm good to go, just drop it in, swing to right field. Boys are gonna be hitting bombs, hitting some bombs. My pitchers out there, you guys got the most power in the golf swing, trust me.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the exact same kinetic chain as pitching. If you can throw 90 plus miles per hour, you can hit a golf ball 200 plus miles per hour.
Right.
Honestly, that's all there is to it.
Oh, baseball players have, I worked with a pitcher for the New York Yankees, and he had the most raw, natural swing speed I've ever seen.
It's crazy,
I mean, he was absolutely bombing it, and I was like, this is crazy. So the pitchers and all you baseball players out there, you guys tend to have the highest swing speed if you can just control it. Yeah. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that video today. That was awesome to read a comment like that and then bring it to life in a video. If you guys have not already, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button. We're bringing you guys a bunch of golf content, free golf content, so. Until next time, guys,
It is free. It costs you nothing to hit that like and subscribe button.
Yeah.
Please do it. We appreciate y'all. But yes.
Okay, until next time, guys, peace out.